Hi there, guys. I'm Bree. Welcome to episode 13 of Nectar Knitty Chats. It has been a few weeks. I have been busy knitting away. If you are new here, welcome back. Oh, sorry. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Happy holiday season, knitting season. I hope you have had a great January. And I am back filming in my bedroom. As you can see, I'm on my bed because my partner is working in the living room and I wanted to squeeze in a video. I am titling this All of the Gift Knits because I told myself I was not going to knit any gifts except for my dad's sweater, and that was a lie because I ended up knitting a bunch of gifts. So if you are a member of my family or a friend who is watching this, I'm going to tell you when to stop watching. I'll be honest, most of my family and friends do not watch this podcast, so I would be very, very surprised if anybody is spoiled, but I'll give a disclaimer ahead of time. So thank you so much for joining me here. This is my little corner of YouTube where I talk a lot about knitting and my projects and what I'm working on and what I want to be working on. So I'll just get going. So I'll start with what I'm wearing. So this is one you guys have seen a lot. It is my first cardigan. So in all its fuzzy glory. I'm really, really happy with how this one came out. It's got the half fisherman's rib sleeves. Oh my gosh, so fluffy. Which is just really beautiful. And a double knit button band. I have not put on buttons. I've not been motivated to put them on. I hardly ever button my cardigan. I have beautiful buttons that I picked out. I will put them on one day, but today is not that day. So I talk a lot about this in my previous video, so if you want to hear more about it, I would definitely recommend watching that. I'm trying to see how my lighting is. We're just going with the flow today because it's about to be really busy, so I'm just trying to get this video in before I head off for the holidays, so pardon if my lighting is kind of weird, like half lit, but it's a beautiful day outside, so I'm taking advantage of the natural light. Anyway, so if you want to hear more about the first cardigan, I'd recommend checking out my last video. It's a beautiful pattern that is now officially released. Lizzie released it, and it is out there in the world. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's super well written. Anything you would need to know is in the pattern. She is so, so thoughtful. She even includes links to videos that tell you how to fix half fisherman's rib should you make a mistake, which proved very, very helpful because half fisherman's rib is very tricky to fix. So I highly recommend the pattern. I'm really happy with it, and that's kind of all I'll say about it. I've been wearing it a lot and I'm thrilled with it. So it's that time of year and I have made a lot of gift knits, so I kind of wanted to talk about them and get them recorded and talk about if I would knit them again and recommend any of them. So I'm just going to get going. I'm going to start with accessories and then I'm going to finish with the big sweater, which most of you guys are at least have seen previously here or on my Instagram, but I will show it officially on the podcast. So let's get started. So my first gift that I knit was this headband. So it's a simple twist headband. It's called the Pamn headband by Slam Fiber Co. It's really easy. It's a combination of knits and slip stitches, and then you do this twist and, you know, seam it. It's beautiful. It's so squishy. This is also Slam Fiber Co.'s yarn. It's I believe the puff base. I'll link below. And I got this in a yard advent last year, and she had these gorgeous colors, and I hadn't used them. And then this year I was like, you know what, I'm going to use up some of these. So this is for, I'm not going to say who it's for because now I realize I've already shown it, but I'm really happy with it, and I'll show you how it looks. So just wear it like this. I love this like twist look. I think it looks really nice like this, or you can wear it like this with your hair back. I really like it, and it's very warm and super soft. So this is 100%, no, it's 90% superwash merino, and then I think 10% nylon, something like that. So it's super soft, really cute, really happy with it. So that's the Pamn headband. It's Pamn headband by Slam Fiber Co. and her yarn as well. I cannot tell you the name. I think this is Sugar Plum Fairy. So it's from the Advent last year, and I do not have the names of it, but it is really pretty. So keeping along the trend of Slam Fiber Co., I made this out of another one of her Advent skeins from last year. This beautiful blue. I love it. So this is the Kids Crush Hat by BKnitshandmade. B is known for the Lotus series. You will definitely recognize the Lotus headband. It's made primarily with Malabrigo Rasta, but made with all sorts of different yarn weights, and it's really beautiful. And so this is actually the original. This is the Crush headband. Beautiful texture, worked up super quick. This yarn is probably more of a bulky base, and the hat is written for super bulky, so I just knit a size up based off the measurements for my friend who gave me this is for my friend for her nephew. So very pretty. So I will be giving that to her when I see her this week, so I'm excited about that. So this is Slam Fiber Co.'s puff base. Don't know the color because it's from the Advent, but it's really soft, really pretty, vibrant blue. And it is the Kids Crush pattern, Kids Crush hat pattern. So definitely would make again. It worked up super quick. I just think it's so cute. It's funny, like this is for my friend's nephew, and she sent me his head measurements. And it's kind of crazy how I could almost wear this hat. So I think it's going to be a little big on him, but I went off of her measurements, and I guess better too big than too small. This is why I rarely make baby hats, because baby heads are crazy. They don't make any sense. They can be really big, or they can be not really big, and so it's just very difficult to make something that fits, and same with baby sizes. So anyway, but the hat is beautiful. It should eventually fit, hopefully, so I hope she likes it. Next up on hats, I made this guy. Oh, I can't try the baby hat on, so he's definitely not watching. This is for my cousin Tanner. He asked me for a hat last year, and I said I would make it, and then I did it. And so this year I used this yarn to repair a stocking that my great grandmother made, and it was Tanner stocking. So with the leftover yarn, I made this hat. I have an Addi knitting machine that I used to use for market preps because it was really, really great for twist headbands. And I didn't really make these consistently, but I whipped this hat up this morning. And this isn't a 100% acrylic yarn. My aunt picked up at like Michael's or something to repair the stocking. And I really like it. It's like a marled gray. I think it turned out really pretty. I'm really happy with the hat. So you just kind of like, I followed a YouTube tutorial, but basically you just knit a tube and then you sew it up so that it's double layered, and then you fold up the hat so then it's like a triple layer brim. So you can wear it, you can wear it slouchy, or I don't even know, like, does that look silly? You can wear it slouchy, or you can wear it with the folded brim, which is my preference. So folded brim. Now I kind of want one of these. It's pretty cute. Like, that's really cute. My cousin has told me that what's really in right now is like these like folded up brim, but like it like barely sits on your head. So I'm like, I guess you could do that and just like I see people wearing them like this. What is that? So like you can do this too. I feel like I look pretty silly, but I guess that's like what the kids are doing now. But anyway, I think he'll really like it. It's definitely very snug. I think the yarn is like needs to like loosen up a little bit. I did steam it, but I think it could probably do for a soak, but I just do not have time to dry it. So I think I'm gonna like wear it and try and stretch it out. So maybe I'll just wear it now. Well, I'll wait. But anyway, so this, I'll link the tutorial I did, but it's just like a really quick, you know, Addi YouTube tutorial and free, and it's great. I'm really happy with it. Now I kind of want one. So that's for my cousin. I would definitely make this again. Easy peasy. Like, I'll probably make some more, honestly. For like, I have a Ravens game coming up. Maybe I should just like pop out a few of those for the Ravens game. So in terms of hand knits, I made this hat. This is for, I'm again probably not watching, this is for my brother. I used this yarn to make him a vest a while ago, and it was called like the professor vest or something. I can't even remember, it's been a while, but I had a leftover skein of the yarn and I thought it would be fun to make him a hat. And it's the Monument hat by Herbgarden Knitwear. It is a pretty simple cabled hat. It's meant for bulky yarn. This is like a Aran weight yarn, so I just knit a size up, and it's like a really, really nice and light. I mean, it was a really nice yarn to work with. It was what was it? Plymouth yarn Homestead, which is just like 100% wool yarn, and I really, really enjoyed working with it. I've been kind of wanting to work with it again. It's got this really beautiful like color variation. It's got like greens and grays and yellows, and I'm definitely super happy with it. I think it's so pretty, and it's got a folded brim. It knits up super quick, and it was a great opportunity to practice my knitting without a cable needle, because it's a two-stitch, you know, cable pattern. And that's great, because I don't love knitting cables, mostly because I found using a cable needle really fiddly. So being able to practice not using a cable needle on this was great. I had a few times where my stitches dropped, but I feel like that looks pretty nice. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. It's got like nice texture and it's warm. It's not like the thickest hat ever, so my brother actually works at like an axe throwing place, so I think he could like easily pop this on and wear it while axe throwing and not get over warm. But it's like still wool, so it's still like, you know, toasty. So I hope he'll like it. So that's the Monument hat. There's a knit along going on for it right now, so definitely recommend it. Great pattern, and I really like the yarn too, so just showing up pretty nicely. And then I have a couple more hats again that were like knitting machine hats. Oh, and I would definitely knit this again. I really am happy with it. I think it's really pretty. I love the patterns written for not single ply, non-ply yarn, whatever it is. Like, it's like for, why can't I think of it? Like what Plutalope is? Why can't I think of it? Unplied yarn, unspun yarn. So it's knit for 2 strands of unspun yarn and lace weight or mohair. And I love the stitch definition that gives in the pattern. So this, I'm really happy with it. I like the yarn. I think the stitch definition's nice, but because of the heathering, I think the cables can a little bit get lost. When I hold it out, it's fine, and I guess when you're wearing it, it's fine. But the one that I think it's Hannah from Herbgarden Knitwear has made, I mean, the stitch definition is unbelievable. So I kind of want to make one in unspun. It would be my first time ever using it. So if I come across any, I might pick up a plate of it and give it a go. So it's another. And then I have two more just little tiny ones. These are possibly for my cousin to give to her son. But again, it's hard to tell because with babies, I feel like this one might be a little big. I mean, so what it is, I did this, but so the nice thing about it is you can fold it up and it's like smaller, and then as the baby gets older, you can kind of like roll it down until honestly at this point where it can like fit me even. So it's definitely a hat that has some longevity. It's very, very festive. So yeah, I don't know if that'll fit, but, and then just in case, this one's a little smaller and a little tighter. So I created that one, which again is folded over, and I think they're both very cute. So yeah, this one's just, the yarn's a little looser, so I just don't know how well it'll stay on, but we'll see. And those are both with like acrylics that I got when I first started knitting. So okay, next accessory. I feel like I have so much to show, and yeah, would definitely do them again. They're on my Addi. So Rachel, if you're watching, which I'm assuming you're not, don't watch this next part. I knit my friend Rachel the Spinnaker beanie by Woolly Bear Knits. Yes, Woolly Bear Knits. Probably I gave it to her, I think, for Christmas last year or for Hanukkah last year, or was it for her birthday this year? I can't remember, but I had another skein of the yarn, and Rachel's hands get very, very cold because she has this thing where her circulation to her hands isn't very good. And so I have been planning on knitting these for a while, but I knit her not the penny gloves, which have been really, if you're on knitting Instagram or YouTube at all, or everywhere, but I made the arched gusset, which are this super simple free pattern from Purl Soho, and it's written for an Aran weight yarn. I used Malabrigo Mecha in the colorway Lorelai, which I think is so beautiful. I love Gilmore Girls. Rachel loves Gilmore Girls, and so I had already made her a hat in this colorway. So how cute are those? These, like, this one is a little like so I'm just like really into them. I think they're so pretty. There we go. And so I wanted to make her some. So Malabrigo Mecha is technically a light bulky, but yeah, I feel like it's not really bulky. It's really, I feel like it is more like an Aran weight. That being said, this is a really tight gauge for the Mecha, but it works out because then they're really warm and they're super, super soft. I did end up washing them to loosen them up a little bit because when I first knit them, they were very, very tight. And so now they stay on, they're really warm, they're cozy, but they have like a little bit more flex. And so I am super happy with them. I am very sad I do not have a pair for myself, so I would like to make some for myself, and these knit up crazy fast, because really it's just like knit in a tube, and then you do the increases, which creates this like beautiful arch detail, which is showing up a little bit better here, this beautiful arch. And then you like cast off, and then not cast off, you like put these on hold, and then you like knit, and then just like bind off when you're ready. And it is so quick. So I really liked knitting these. I would 100% knit these again, for myself, for gifts. I already have plans to knit more of these. So, and I just love this colorway. I love blues and purples, and so I think it's beautiful. So it's for my friend Rachel. And I said Malabrigo Mecha in the colorway Lorelai, Purl Soho, arched gusset, mittens, but I just modified them to make them fingerless. It's a free pattern on their website. Okay, now we're gonna go up to away from the accessories, and now on to it's a blanket. We can ignore that I haven't woven in the ends yet. I've woven them in, but I don't cut them until I steam it, and I did just steam it. So it's so soft. So this is a baby blanket for my future nephew. Steve's sister is pregnant, and so we are going to be aunt and uncle, and I knit them this baby blanket, which is the Sliding is Fun blanket by, hold please. Okay, I lifted up. So the Sliding is Fun blanket is by Darn It Anyway, which I've done one of their other baby blanket patterns and really liked it. It's free. I'll link it through Ravelry, and it uses Juniper. Hold on, let me look. It uses, yes, Juniper Moon Farm Cumulus, and this is one. I used one skein of the gradient one and one skein of just like a light gray, and it's created this beautiful gradient. There we go. It's super soft. It's a cotton yarn, and it works up really fast. The big reason I picked it is there is no purling on the back end. You knit two, and then you go to the other side where the other end is, and then knit two, and then you go to the other side. So it's called sliding because you like slide your stitches down instead of like working just back and forth garter forever. And so then it creates this pattern where you have like, you know, purl bumps followed by knits. So it's kind of like something like it's like a modified garter basically. Because it's like 2 knits, 2 purls, 2 knits, 2 purls, 2 knits, 2 purls, and so just knit. So, and I think it came out really well. I definitely would knit this again, and I really hope they like it. And so I will be gifting that this Christmas to them, and it's pretty much done. I just need to cut the ends and it'll be ready to go. So yes, that is Sliding is Fun, Darn It Anyway, the Juniper Moon Cumulus in one of the gradient colorways, and like a gray colorway. I will find the colors and link it down below. And yes, I would definitely knit again. This knit up for a baby blanket. This knit up very fast. I mostly enjoyed knitting it, and I largely did during meetings and stuff because it's just knits. So that was awesome. Okay, moving on to the big ones. So the first big one is one that I've shown actually on here, but it's been a long time, and that is the Fernwood Bolero. by Knitatude. And it is knit in Hue and Me in the color Salt. I'm gonna try to put it on so you can see it. And this is for my grandmother. I knit this for her a long time ago, but I just haven't seen her. And so I'm going to be giving this to her as a Christmas present. And it is a Bolero shrug with a really pretty lace panel along the back that my grandmother picked out. It's very soft. It's very squishy. It was a really interesting construction. I think I would consider knitting this again. It does require seaming, which I'm not particularly good at, and so I'm better at seaming now, so I think I would consider knitting again. I think the result is really beautiful. I did like half sleeves because my grandma didn't want anything too long, and I'm, you know, pretty happy with it, and it's very cozy. I mean, it's super, super cozy. And the lace panel, I'll take this off to show you. The lace panel is beautiful, so it's gorgeous. So, can you see that? Yes. And it's, so that I love. So I definitely overall like was really happy with the project. It's just a lot of knitting flat, which is not my favorite, but I think it is how you're able to achieve the result of the shrug. And so that I think it's worth it, but it wasn't my favorite process. It did work out pretty quickly. It is a bulky yarn, and I mean, it's just gorgeous. This is just beautiful. So I love this panel. Honestly, I thought about it. I'm like, I definitely could have made this too as a blanket, because the way it works is like you knit it flat and then you sew it up, and like you could just also just never sew it up and have a blanket. So I've thought about knitting it as a blanket with some modifications. But yeah, so that's the Fernwood Bolero by Knitatude in Hue and Me Salt. I got it as a kit on Lion Brand when it was on sale, and it was like very, very, very affordable. I think the pattern and the kit all together was like $35. It was super affordable. And so I think my grandma will really like that. So last but not least is a big project I've been working on. It is the zipper sweater man. Oh my gosh, look at that color. Oh. So I finished the zipper sweater man. I was inspired to knit this by the Hive Knits and Natters podcast. Lizzie made one last year for her brother, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really great. And my dad, when he saw that I could knit, he saw something I knit and he's like, oh, I didn't know you can make stuff like that. He was like, could you make me a quarter zip? And I was like, yeah, I can make you a quarter zip. Like, no problem. And so then I saw the zipper sweater man and I was like, that's it. I'm going to make that for my dad. And it's in bulky yarn. So I told myself I was going to get it done for Christmas. I bought him the yarn for his birthday and I told him the labor would be his Christmas present. So I bought it a while ago, and I knew, I was like, okay, I have to knit this for my mom. I have to knit this other thing for I have to do this test knit, the First Cardigan, and then I'm going to start this project for my dad. And I really didn't think I was going to finish it, but man, bulky yarn, I'm telling you, it works up fast. So I used Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Superwash in the color Garnet Heather, which is just, I mean, this color is unbelievable. Every time I post a picture of it, people are like, oh my gosh, like that color is so beautiful. And it really is. And it blocked beautifully. The yarn just blocked so beautifully. It looks so clean. The stitches are so even. It looks professional. It really softened up with washing. I'm really, really happy with it. Knit Picks sponsor me. I would totally use your yarn again. I'm really, really happy with the result. I would love to make myself one. I think I would also do the bulky pattern. There is a DK weight one, which I would not make a DK weight pattern for my dad because of the amount of knitting. But I honestly, like, this Wool of the Andes bulky, it doesn't feel like super heavy to me. I mean, this is definitely like an outerwear garment, but I've worn it around the house. Our house gets kind of chilly in the winter, and I haven't had trouble. So the hardest part of this whole pattern was, you'll have to forgive me, I have little fuzzies all over it. It's knitting this zipper. So as you can see, it's not the tidiest work. I'm really happy with the zipper I picked. I just got it off Amazon. But I'm really happy with, like, Petite Knit had some, but I wasn't about to like pay shipping from like Denmark or wherever. So I'm really happy with it, considering I don't really sew. I'm pretty happy with the sewing job. I definitely have room for improvement, but overall I'm really happy with it, and I love the brass kind of look. And the neckline looks really good. I'm just really pleased. So I will try it on. And I can also I have footage of me wearing it. I can pop that in. But, so yeah, this is, I mean, Petite Knit, I haven't really knit that many of her patterns. I think this is the second one. The other one I knit was a baby sweater. I mean, I think I need to make one in this color for myself, because I feel like I look good. So, I mean, just, it's obviously too big on me, but it's so comfy. Like, I'm so pleased with it. I could see myself making this like one size down and it just being like super cozy, like around the house sweater. My boyfriend wants one now. Steve saw it and he was like, oh, like, I wouldn't mind one of those. But I honestly do kind of believe in the sweater curse, so I'm waiting until I think maybe I'll gift him a sweater when we get married or something, because I'm a little scared of making him a sweater. And if you haven't heard of the sweater curse, there's this like idea, or this like, I don't know what you would call it, but like superstition, that if you make your boyfriend a sweater, then you're doomed to break up with them. I saw a post that talked about the psychology behind it. Basically was like, as a knitter, we work so hard and put so much love and thought into these items, and so if our partner does not love and appreciate the item we made them, then in some respects it feels like they don't value or see us, and because they don't get what it means for a knitter to gift a sweater. And so, yeah, I mean, and that kind of brings up the whole idea of knit worthy, not knit worthy. I'll say Steve's extremely knit worthy. I've made him like a billion hats at this point. I've made him socks. He wears his hand knit socks like every single day. I mean, they're like felted and, but still like felted in like kind of a good way. Not in like a deteriorating way, just in like he's been wearing them a ton and now they're felted, so they fit his feet even better and they're very, very warm. And so he's extremely knit worthy, but he doesn't really wear sweaters that much as it is. And so I thought about knitting him like a hoodie, because he wears hoodies all the time. I thought about knitting him like a pullover sweater that's more kind of like a sweatshirty feel, so that he can kind of like, yeah, just put it on around the house and be really cozy. But I think I'm gonna wait. So anyway, but back to the zipper sweater, man. Like, you can see, ta-da! Oh gosh, that scared me for a minute. I need to like go through and pull out all the brie hairs, but I'm really happy with it, and I just kind of want to live in it. It's just, I didn't do as tall of a neckline as she suggested, but I think this is perfect. And I think the raglan line is really clean, and I would strongly recommend this pattern. I was very, very pleased with it. I saw that Crayabea is designing a half fisherman's rib pullover, like a quarter zip pullover, half fisherman's rib. Sorry, half fisherman's rib quarter zip sweater. There we go. And so I have definitely been keeping my eye on it, because part of me is like, ooh, that might be really cool. But another part of me is also just like, I loved this one so much that I'm like, do I want just this, or do I want to try something different? Maybe apply for a test knit. I've never tested for her before, but Rebecca's, specifically the Dorney sweater I saw recently, is very, very tempted to apply to test knit, because I really wanted a cable knit sweater, and it was like Aran weight with lace, so it's like a kind of like a bulkier cable project. But I did not apply because of this, all of this stuff that I've been knitting, basically. So yeah, anyway, this is the big gift for Christmas. I'm really looking forward to it. And as of this moment, my needles are completely clear. I have one sock hanging that needs to be knit, that I knit a long time ago, but then I had to pause, so I'll pick that back up for the holidays as my quick project. And I have a blanket I'm planning on casting on, another baby blanket for a friend. And then once that's done, which I don't think will take very long, I am open. Like, for the first time in a long time, I don't have any projects I absolutely am like prioritizing or needing to do. And so looking ahead, I am really, there's a couple knit-alongs coming up that I'm pretty interested in. The Bougie Sweatshirt knit-along by Young Folk Knits. She is doing a knit-along basically for what I've been talking about, which is like a pullover sweater that I can just like throw on. And she said it's a bougie sweatshirt because it's like obviously wool, and so it's like a little bougier than like the sweatshirt that I lounge around in, but that kind of concept. So I'm very interested in that. I have a couple patterns in mind. Talked about the Lento sweater, talked about the home sweater V-neck, which I'm not sure if that would qualify. I'm also really interested in knitting the Semper sweater by the Knit Purl girl, and I have a lot of other kind of things in my queue, but I'm really, really looking forward to January, because I think I will be able to cast on a few things that I've been kind of putting off. I also have the Gossamer Twist sweater I could cast on. I think that would definitely qualify for the Bougie Sweatshirt cow. And I think the Crayabea is also doing a Lento sweater knit along, and so I could do the Lento sweater and technically participate in both knit alongs with that, and I have the yarn for that I am really excited about. I think that's everything. I think in terms of gift knitting, I really don't think I can do any more. I also knit, oh, that's another thing I knit. I'll put a picture in over here. I knit a bookmark for my book club exchange, and I definitely would knit that again. It was such a fun and beautiful little lace piece, and I think she really liked it, and so I think I will knit that again. I have a couple of book friends in my life that I think would really appreciate like a little sentimental piece like that to hold their spot in their books. But yeah, have you been doing any gift knitting? Have you barred yourself from gift knitting? I have to say, most of these projects I didn't have to do, and so I did actually find them really delightful. And it'd been so long since I've knit accessories that it was kind of nice to return to my roots in knitwear, which was knitting just hats and mittens and cows. I just really, really, really enjoyed it. And so I'm just like really happy that I don't know. I'm just really happy that I get to gift these little things to my loved ones, and I hope they like them. Well, I am probably going to be pretty quiet on here until January, if I were to guess. We are traveling for the holidays. We're going to see Steve's family and my family, and then we'll be back here, and then we have plans, and then we're going to see the Ravens play the Steelers in Baltimore, and we are just doing lots and lots and lots of family and friend time in the next coming week and a half. So I know there's a big storm coming in the US, so we are trying to figure out our driving plans around that. And so for all my friends in the US, whether you be in the Midwest or the East Coast or the South, I am wishing you safe travel should you be traveling for the holidays. I'm wishing everybody a just beautiful end of the year, whether you celebrate Hanukkah or, well, happy Hanukkah if you do, because it's currently Hanukkah. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate the winter solstice, I wish you a happy solstice. And to everybody, a happy new year. I will see you in 2023. Bye.